Let's be honest, pitching yourself as a fashion photographer to brands sounds like it could be the most terrifying thing you've ever done, let alone understanding how to find contact information. Or if you've sent emails before and then never heard anything back, that is a pretty crappy feeling. But there is good news, because I'm here to help. And being a successful fashion photographer doesn't need to be reliant on who you knew growing up or who your family knows or just luck or bumping into the right person at the right place at the right time. It's about having a proper plan and sticking to it. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through how to build a dream client list, what actually makes a good pitch, and the number one pitching mindset shift that changed my life completely. It helped me to continue to pitch consistently and without any panic. So let's dive in. So first of all, why does pitching still work? If you don't know what I mean by pitching, I mean sending emails to brands, to magazines, to people you want to work with, and literally offering them your services. Pitching can get a really bad reputation because so many photographers that I have worked with or I've spoken to have given it a go like once or twice, not really seen the result, and then never tried again. But the reason that a lot of people think that they're not getting responses, they think that it's because the work isn't good. But I'm here to tell you that that is absolutely most likely not the case. Most people aren't getting back to you because they're busy, because they forgot to reply to you, or because your email got buried in a very busy inbox. The vast majority of people who are not getting booked as successful fashion photographers are simply not getting booked because they're sending unclear or very generic emails, they're pitching once and never trying again and never following up, or they just never start pitching at all. I've seen it time and time again that sending the right pitch to the right person can absolutely change a career. It changed mine. My career took off way back in like 2017 when I was living in the middle of the Cornish countryside in the UK, very remote part of the UK, and I wanted to reach out to brands I loved. I wanted to work with a fashion photographer, but I didn't want to wait until I lived in London. I sent an email, I got a response, and it built a working relationship. And I have continued to get all of my work primarily in this way ever since. So the first thing that you need to do is build your dream client list. If you don't know who you are trying to work with, it is really difficult to attract them. So instead of waiting for someone to find you, you're going to find them. I want you to build a list of 10 to 20, even more if you want, of brands, magazine, ad agencies, or just individuals that you would love to work with. Who would you love to do a shoot for? Who would you dream of seeing your images in their business being used by them? So here's how you do that. First of all, look at your own taste. What do you love? What do you wear? What do you do day to day? What are you passionate about? Look at your work currently and ask yourself who it already aligns with. There will be brands out there who need the kind of work that you already do right this second. Look at photographers that you admire. Who are they shooting for? Could you be shooting for those brands as well? Top tip, there is room for more than just one photographer working for a different brand. So don't worry if someone else is already shooting for the brand you love. There is space for you too. And then also just keep real strong attention to emerging brands that you've never heard of, and keep an open mind and write them down. You can create a spreadsheet in any kind of platform. I personally use Notion or Google Drive. And you want to start creating a list of the name of the brand or the publication or the person. Make a note of their website, their Instagram, what the job title of the person you'd like to reach out to would be. So maybe it's an art director, maybe it's a social media manager. And then just start to write down notes of the kind of shoots that you think you could offer them. What might they be interested in seeing? This list, this database, is going to become your guiding compass. It's going to become your Bible. So save it somewhere safe and keep it, because you're going to be using it for the rest of your career. I have literally been collating a database since 2018, and it is still my Bible to this day. This is what keeps your outreach and your pitching intentional and not sporadic and random and weird. So how do you find the contact information for the people you want to reach out to without being a weird creep? So you don't need to buy a huge PR database. They exist. There are lists out there that you can just buy and have access to all the email addresses of people who work at big brands, at big agencies, at big advertising agencies, but you don't need those. You just need to do a little bit of research. So first of all, look at the brand's Instagram. If they're small enough, they might be tagging the founder and who actually runs the page. Pay attention to who the brands are actually tagging in the imagery. You'd also be surprised, sometimes they do list email addresses of people you need to reach out to if you're a photographer or a creative or you want to work with the press team right on their website. So go to the website, look for press contacts, look for contact us pages, and do some digging. You would be surprised by how often I have genuinely found really good email address contacts right there. But the best tip I can give you is LinkedIn. You want to get familiar with LinkedIn and start looking up brands and who are their employees. Who is the art director at a brand? Who is the creative director at a brand? Start getting in touch with those people. LinkedIn is genuinely a gold mine of contacts. So get on LinkedIn if you haven't already and do some serious digging. And if all else fails, of course, try the generic email address of the hello at or the info at. It's a last resort. Always you want to be aiming to email a person wherever you can, but it does work. If all else fails, you're better off sending an email to a email address than not sending one at all. And remember, you're not bothering people. You're actually making their job easier by introducing yourself because they need you. They are always looking for photographers just like you. You are saving them time. You are not being a nuisance, I promise. So what makes a pitch actually work? Here's where I see most email pitches going wrong. They're either too long, they're too vague, or they're too self-focused. That's a really big one. Here's a quick format that I actually teach inside my program, The Success Studio. Number 1, you want a clear subject line, something that says what it is on the tin. You could say something like photography introduction, photographer introduction, photographer introducing themselves, something like that. Very simple. Number 2, you want some kind of very short, simple, friendly greeting and another line saying why you are reaching out to them. I've literally written in my notes, "Hi, your name. I'm a fashion photographer based in the UK and I love the creative direction of the brand." Put a brand in there. "I'd love to introduce myself and share a few potential ideas for a collaboration." Simple. Another thing I really recommend is not attaching tons of attachments to your emails. You can attach one pitch PDF, which is what I teach again inside the Success Studio, but keep it under 2 megabytes. If all else fails, attach a link to your website. You don't even need to attach a PDF at all if you don't want to. Make sure the work is relevant, however, to the person you're emailing. And then you want to end with some kind of call to action, which is basically you inviting them to take action following on from your email. So are you asking for a meeting? Are you asking them to get back to you about a collaboration opportunity? That's it. It's simple, it's clear, it's focused, but it's very effective. And then I'm going to let you in on a secret. The magic actually comes from the follow-up. And this is where the vast majority of people drop off completely and never do what I tell them. If you do not get a reply within 5 to 7 days, you need to send a follow-up email. This is where your database that you made earlier becomes really important because you're going to keep track of when you sent your first email and when you followed up. Trust me when I tell you that the vast majority of your replies are going to come from your follow-up, not from your initial email. Do not ask me why it is, but it just is that way. And then don't be afraid to keep reaching out regularly. You need to be front of mind and consistently show up in people's inboxes so that when they do need you for a shoot, they remember you. If you don't ever speak to them again, they will forget about you. There are so many people out there who also want to be working with that brand. So make sure that you are regularly showing up and making them remember who you are. So if you're feeling like as a fashion photographer, you are doing all the right things, but you're still not getting booked, ask yourself if you are pitching in the right way and as much as you should be. This is the kind of work that we do inside of the Success Studio. This is my signature self-paced program, and it gives you the full roadmap to getting booked, to getting paid, and to getting recognized for your fashion photography. If you are ready to build a real career as a fashion photographer and not just something you do on the side, then this program is exactly what you need. And if you're not sure what area is holding you back right now, then I actually have a free quiz you can take, which is so much fun. It's called Discover the Missing Link to Getting Booked as a Fashion Photographer. It's quick, it's personalized, and it's really fun to do. And it will literally show you what you should be focusing on right now. So all I'm going to say is, you've got this, I'm cheering you on, go out and send some emails and get that career going. See you in the next one.